of Fame. Go.
Oh man, it's JEFFJ. Oh damn it, I've gone mental.
A-double-R-E-double-T.
Ain't I great? Don't me off.
Nice.
Well deserved.
I must admit, in Triple H worded the tweet his contributions to the wrestling business, because a lot of people felt he wasn't. Most people felt, Kieran, how do you think of this?
What?
Just let him go. Oh, he's getting washed up. A lot of people feel he didn't have a Hall of Fame career in ring.
Really?
Yeah, most people feel he wasn't deserving. I'm not saying that's me, Kieran, so don't smack me.
I think, yeah.
He's a 6-time Intercontinental Champion.
I think they're say this word again, morons. You're
Oh.
entitled to your opinion, but you're entitled to your
You
opinion.
can't say you're entitled to your opinion after calling them morons. You have to say you're entitled to your opinions. End of.
Oh, no. He's been in the wrestling business since he was a child. His grandmother was in the wrestling business as a promoter. And obviously, Jerry was chicken salad and all that.
Yeah.
Why? So he's had his contributions for the wrestling, and when we look at the Hall of Fame, it's not entirely down to what is achieved in ring. It's in the business as a whole and entertainment. He was very entertaining throughout the 90s.
Yeah.
Didn't watch much of his WCW stuff because I was a WWE fan, but did a lot there as well.
Yeah, and also you got to think WWE own these places now. So he had world title runs, numerous runs in WCW. He had 6-time IC champ in WWE. And then you add these contributions. Would we have Bobby Roode? We have AJ Styles, Samoa Joe without him?
I think that's what Triple H's tweet was about, his contributions to the wrestling business, because he did build that competition up for WWE for a while. And now a lot of WWE's current money-making stars are former TNA. And we would have not had that opportunity, and WWE would have not had the opportunity to bring them up if Jarrett hadn't created TNA.
Well, Bobby Roode did a great promo on, he just he kind of had a word about Jeff Jarrett and how much he means to him, because he said if it wasn't for him, I would never have got TV exposure. Xavier Woods put out a tweet saying if it wasn't for Jeff Jarrett, I wouldn't be in the New Day, because I wouldn't have been given the platform at such a young age to actually showcase what I'm about.
He's genuinely a really nice guy. Like, met the guy, worked for him.
Yeah.
Oh, this is what we were waiting for.
There you go.
I'll pick that name off the floor.
Yep. Dropped. Mic drop.
Guys, if you were on Periscope, he has his back to it in a minute because he's very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But he did just slap the mic into the palm of his hand.
I didn't want to drop it, it might break it. Dan will shout at me.
Yeah, he will. He'll shout at us for this show anyway. Guys, we were going to go out on a little bit of trivia, as always. We're going to come back on the other side of the break with your Elimination Chamber preview, including Team Wars and Prediction League. But the trivia is this, and it's a bizarre question, it's kind of very niche, but you guys always get my trivia right, so I'm just going to be awkward. The question is, who is an Elimination Chamber match, did a flying clothesline to the outside grates, and put 3 large gashes in the side of his thigh, and then shouted, "Ouch!" Do you know that?
Is that fun?
Yeah.
I'm going to get in trouble again.
Yeah. You didn't say it to our audience, you said it to people that thought that. Well, I was going to say something, part of that. But someone said, but why can people complain that Jeff Jarrett's going to Hall of Fame, but Donald Trump's in it?
True. There's people left.
What people feel is there's a lot of people, like this year particularly, there's people that should have been in way before, like the Dudleys is very current. Like, they're all Hall of Fame talent. Yeah. But there's people like British Bulldog, Pillman, like you go back even further.
You don't know why they're not in it.
Yeah, there's political to it. Anyway.
I also think they're waiting for another year, sort of a more.
Yeah. Like Bulldog, I think could headline like 1 year if they're going to England or something, or like Canada.
Is Bulldog's family stopping him, or do they not want to put Bulldog in because Dynamite's still alive?
Well, yeah. Well, I think, especially with Owen Hart, I think it is to do with his wife. His widow is very unhappy about the whole situation. But I think some of it as well, like they do have to hit a consensus. They have to hit. They don't want to have 6 people that have passed. They need 1 that's passed, so that limits a lot. And they need a tag team. They need a woman. They need this. They need that. A celebrity. So it's tough.
Keep it on, Joe.
Pardon?
Keep on the music.
Okay, along it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we're gonna get. But I
I'll get complaints.
Fine.
Oh yeah, copyright. Cool. Do you want to switch to your seat?
I'll be right.
No, I can deal.
No,
just to let you know, we haven't had any answers so far.
Good.
sit on that?
I was.
Oh, you were someone. Oh, okay, fine. That's what I used.
I'll still know if you want.
My name was that.
I was break test.
You know, wait. Did you not go before?
No.
Upstairs, carry on, it's the one right in front. Literally gets us upstairs.
Follow
Oh.
the stairs and straight ahead.
Don't lock the door, they'll know you know.
It's about the corner of the hall.
No, yeah.
Yeah, no one's answered so far.
We shall never
Surrender! Oh, I forgot. What was going on?
Punk's gonna be up.
You ready?
That's quick. Hey! Yeah, that was quick. We are back from the break. We caught Kieran short there. The trivia before we went.
joke?
Oh. No, it wasn't. The trivia before we went to the break was who in an Elimination Chamber match did a flying clothesline to the outside grates and put 3 large gashes in their leg and showing ouch! And so from what I've heard, Atlas he doesn't. Bruno is Dunzo on Instagram have both seen no answers.
No answers.
No answers. And the answer, if you're playing along on podcast,
That off with the facials, the stuff he was saying.
iTunes. What's your Kieran's favourite? Podbean.
Popping. Boom.
And a TuneIn app. You can have a guess, obviously, at this point. Large gashes in their leg and showing ouch! And so from what I've heard, Atlas he doesn't. Bruno is Dunzo on Instagram have both seen no answers.
No answers.
No answers. And the answer, if you're playing along on podcast, which you can catch us on Stitch, iTunes. What's your Kieran's favourite? Podbean.
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 Boon.
And a TuneIn app. You can have a guess, obviously, at this point. And the answer is, pause your podcast. And we're back. CM Punk. It was CM Punk, and it was very funny, actually. And that was a good year, actually. That chamber was very good. Kind of a coming out party for CM Punk. And sometimes, it was kind of in that flow just before the pipe bomb. It was when he was in Nexus.
Yeah.
And he kind of doing nothing. And Mason Ryan, and he's tagging Mason Ryan a lot.
Yeah.
And he almost kind of reminded us, like Seth Rollins did this Raw.
Yeah.
Punk's good, and then it obviously escalated from there. He's now a UFC fighter with a 0-1 record. But yeah, so that's what's great about things like the Chamber and Hell in a Cell. People can have breakout nights.
Yeah.
Could this be the night Finn finally just moves over into that next level? Is it the night where The Miz is finally considered, this guy deserves the main event of WrestleMania for once? It could be anything. Could this be Braun's moment?
Yeah.
Braun's had a lot of good moments, but could this be Braun's moment? That's what's great about these gimmick matches is sometimes you get a stand-up performance that is remembered for a lifetime, and we can do trivia for in 10 years' time.
I'm going for Rollins or Balor to have that tonight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Could be. But I can tell you guys that we're about to do predictions for Elimination Chamber 2018. But I can tell you what the current standings are actually sitting at. We've got Mafia in last.
Well, who would have predicted that?
Yeah, at 19. And then we got Podcast 21, Live 25, and us top of the pile.
My boy.
29.
My boy.
29.
I've come in on top.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah,
Bruno's
you know
joined the pile while it's at the top. Top of the bale. Slap of the bees. The pre-show tonight, guys.
Yes.
I'm sure it's brought to you by that purple drink that they always shill.
What is that?
What is that called?
I had that and it was so good.
I had that Mania Day in Dallas.
Which one is it? The one that begins with B?
Barney's Wee.
It's a grape flavoured drink, and Byron Saxton's always loving it because it must be Carb Sunday this week. First match, guys, it is the Balor Club, or The Club, which is Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson versus the Miz Taraj, which is Bo Dallas, Curtis Axel, and this is for 1 point. I can tell you that Mafia and Podcast have gone The Club.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
There's no crying in the club. Am I right?
Yeah, I just think it's a club one, yeah.
Yep, that's
Don't
it
see
then.
anything
The
else.
next match
Club,
is...
innit? I think it would be club.
Yeah,
I think the Club are kind of newly babyface, really, aren't they? Like, I think they're trying to kind of putting them in a position where they're coming across strong for the first time, I'd say, in a while. And I think this is an opportunity to really put them across even stronger on a big stage.
Yeah.
And I think, especially with the Miztourage, they, no offense to Bo, Dallas, and Curtis Axel, love both of them. Like, excellent wrestlers. But they are in that kind of position, that role of
fodder.
Yeah, they can play the fool. They can take the loss.
Of course.
Fodder.
Well, no, in like the current, I don't think they're. I think they're world champion worthy.
Well,
I'm just saying at the minute their role is the fodder.
Yeah.
They're the tinder.
Left, right.
No.
Right.
Like kindling. Like they're the tinder. They're the shavings.
Yeah.
They start the fires.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's what their job is currently. And I believe that also with pre-shows is they like to start with a babyface win.
Yeah.
I think the resurgence of the club with Balor
Yeah.
is it's a situation where they're setting something up. I don't know what.
Yeah.
Because I think the tag division is a weird place, as you'll get to with the title match later. They need to reset someone alight right before Mania, and the club could be that team with Cesaro and Sheamus being the champs.
And as a callback to what Bruno said about maybe being Balor's night as well as Rollins,
Could be the club's night.
it could be a great night for the club. You could have the club going over strong at the beginning, and then at the end, even if Finn doesn't win, you could have the club walk out with Balor.
Yeah.
Too sweet him, send him in.
Yeah, true. Very much
Strong
so.
night.
I think a club win kind of gives you options leading into Mania.
Yeah.
Whereas a Miztourage win.
Yeah, they're not going for a tag title.
Yeah, like-
Yeah, true, very true. That's a good point.
And as Scott said, that's their role. They can play that role.
Yeah,
of,
they don't lose anything by losing. I think the club are so damaged when they were so hot coming in that the more wins, the merrier for them. I think almost losing helps them Miztourage because it helps that they're that role of like they think they're A-list celebrities, but they just lose every match they're in.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go club. How are we all feeling? Club?
Yeah. I'm with it. I'm with it.
No crying in the club?
No.
No crying in the club.
In this
Okay.
club.
What is that?
In this
It's Rihanna, I
club.
think.
Is it?
I'm singing Usher. In this club.
Let's see. What is the live people looking like?
Club.
Okay.
Perfect. I think he fell off
Strong.
the little thing I'm on.
Strong.
And then we'll be moving into the main card. The first match we're going to kick off with is a one-pointer.
Okay.
It is Bray Wyatt versus Matt Hardy.
Ooh.
Team Mafia said Hardy. Podcast have said Hardy. You got to remember, they've been building this for quite some time, really, with the broken stuff with potentially Sister Abigail, but we haven't really got that deep into it. But then at the Raw 25,
I was going to say they've already had one, haven't they?
they did one in the Hammerstein.
Yeah.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
And no, the Manhattan Center, sorry.
That's the one.
And it was like a 9-minute house show match. Very simple, very to the point. Bray just won. Very comfortable.
Yeah.
Whereas I thought, well, I guess that's over and they've given up on the broken thing. Or they've just, that's it. But then they carried it on straight after,
Yeah.
which made me think, oh, I guess Chamber, they're going to go one higher, so like maybe an ODQ match. And then by Mania, you're looking at a total deletion or some kind of thing. They're going to go woken something. But they're not. It's another singles match.
Yeah.
So it kind of feels like 50-50 booking, and they're going to go, we'll just give Hardy a win so that we feel like his character's actually... Because at this point, he's come in, he's laughing a lot, and he's losing.
Yeah.
That's pointless. Like, if we're going to actually do this thing, which I think has already been watered down massively, we need to start making him win.
Yeah.
But Bray's the worst guy because Bray needs all the wins. Like,
Yeah.
that guy's so good and loses so much.
Both their roles are that kind of mystical character-based thing, and I think that character does need wins. Otherwise, it becomes a laughing stock. I think-
Yeah, it's a comedy act.
Yeah, people need to take it seriously. It needs like Bray's a prime example of that. Like, we haven't had a superstar like Bray Wyatt ever. Like, no one's ever come in and played a role that solidly, can wrestle that well with such an interesting look, and people still poo-poo on it.
Yeah, it's like the promos. They're like, promos go nowhere. I was like, promos don't go anywhere.
No.
Like, a lot of the time. Like, we're not in the 80s where you can draw people into every 6 inches to, see a big match.
No.
That isn't a thing that happens
No.
anymore. I can't convince Bruno right now to come see my next match because, one, he doesn't like coming to our matches. And secondly, that was a joke. And secondly, there's nothing I'm going to say that's going to make you go, oh, God, I have to see that. We've seen it all.
Yeah.
And it's in a situation where all the expeditions, all these things are out.
Yeah.
We're in a world where people are more fascinated by the backstage than what's in front of the screen.
Yeah.
So we're at a point where promos are more or less just to, explain the situation that we're in.
Yeah.
Now, physicality will bring you towards us.
Yeah.
So in a world like that, Bray Wyatt does ramble about stuff, but he does it so well, so in character.
Yeah.
And it's such an original character.
Yeah.
It's not, for example, The Undertaker's the gimmick was silly from the start. Like, it's a dead man.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But then you look at Bray. He's a guy from like New Orleans. He's a swamp guy.
Yeah.
He's a cult leader. It's kind of half Christianity, half devil.
Yeah.
Like, it's so intricate, and he plays it so well,
Yeah.
and he gets zero credit.
Wait.
And I understand people said it's down to losses, but
Yeah.
come on, like, do losses really mean that much?
People don't remember week to week who's lost and who's won.
They seem to remember Bray's.
Yeah, they see because he is. But that's the thing. He's supposed to be a force. Because
Yeah.
when he loses, you kind of go, oh,
But
okay.
isn't that what you want with a cult leader? Is that he keeps telling you he's a false faucet. He's a false prophet. Like, he's like, follow me and you'll always win. And he loses. He's like, you know, like what a bad guy says.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
like he literally hits someone with a chair and goes, I didn't do it.
Yeah.
It's like, you're just a liar. You're just
Yeah.
a clear liar. That's what heels do, aren't they, Kieran?
Yeah.
Do you reckon it's just his losses on the big stage though?
Yes.
That have been quite like magnified.
Yeah.
Well, it's quite terrifying to believe that he won the chamber last year.
True.
When it's WrestleMania WWE champion, you know.
Yeah.
I'd say it's scary to think that. He's a millionaire because of that. But now he's working with Matt Hardy, which is you got to think, this time last year, the biggest thing you could have done in wrestling was hire Matt Hardy to be broken. But instead, they've got woken Matt a year too late, and it's watered down.
Do we think that it's been hindered by
Gender.
Sorry, who?
Oh, I didn't see that.
Do you reckon?
Is he back with the company?
Do you reckon it's been hindered that Jeff got injured,
Yes.
and then they had to sort of rush
into it, yeah.
it through? Because it was gonna go where it was gonna be Jeff Matt again. And
Yeah.
it was gonna just be on a bigger stage, maybe bigger production.
Because some people have actually, there's a rumor going around that they're going to have an Inferno match at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Because they keep talking about, like, I'm going to burn down your Woken Warriors and I'm going to burn down your Fireflies or whatever. So there's a lot of fire talk being around. Seth Rollins, I think he needs something in his music. No, yeah. So there's a lot of talk of that. So people think of an Inferno, but I'm a big fan of. I think tonight should have maybe a no DQ, something different, kind of like an interesting thing.
Yeah.
And then Mania, I think you go full force into a deletion.
Yeah.
That throughout the night, like, it's a ridiculous concept. All of this is ridiculous. Okay, it's similar to what the Hardys were doing prior. Start the show with a match, then go live to the compound, and don't say where the compound, just say compound.
Yeah.
Do that. They get in the car. They start driving, similar to the House Horrors that everyone hated.
I thoroughly enjoyed
Yeah,
that.
do that, and then it doesn't have to make sense that like they got there at a different time. Just do it. Then they're halfway there. They stop over and like somewhere they're doing something there. So between matches, there's an arc to the night, and eventually they enter the arena and they end the match in the ring, similar to Piper and Goldust at WrestleMania 12.
How cool would it have been if it was an open air Mania this year and they had a massive drones? coming in?
That I'm surprised if they don't do some kind of drone anyway because of it's a big dome
Yeah, I don't know what the safety parameters are on that though. I don't
or
know.
drone inside.
Yeah.
They did do it with the Young Bucks, didn't they? And the Hammerstein.
Yes. That was
And
very
that's a very small area.
Very
Maybe
cool.
that's why they hired Jeremy Borash. He's a hell of a drone hand. He's a hell of a drone hand. What are you guys laughing at in the chat room? Go on. No, Bruno's really having a giggle. Is someone saying that they like Bruno's voice?
Scotty T20 said, does anyone else think it sounds like Jack Whitehall is in the studio?
does! Yes!
Yes, yeah.
I've said that for so long!
Guys, if you've gone to actually, if you haven't already, you have to go to at TWS Radio on Periscope and Facebook and go to the YouTube because Jack Whitehall is indeed in the house. We have been ribbing you. It is Jack Whitehall. He'll be very sad after that.
I knew you'd come.
Yeah, so, but on that note, do you think this is a situation where it's 50-50, they need to get Hardy's win?
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, I think so.
I hate the whole situation.
Whoa!
Okay.
It's coming late.
I think it's happened way too early. And I think they put him with the wrong guy. But I don't think Bray Wyatt and Hardy should have even touched.
I like the prospect.
They've already had a match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Raw 25.
Yeah. It's all happened too early. And I just don't like the pairing. I think Hardy could have
They
been
both-
broken by somebody else. And
He's not been broken, he's been woken.
yeah, but that whole situation.
Yeah.
I'm with Kiki on this point.
Are you telling me you two would rather see them team?
That's what I was going to say. Yeah.
No.
Whoa! Okay, Kieran, why? Bruno, you're going next. You said yes.
It doesn't work for me.
Okay, Bruno, yes.
I think that with Jeff gone at the moment, I think it would be quite a cool
Situation. Yeah.
for them to get back into and actually keep them both on TV working off each other.
Yeah,
They did
because
tease
neither of them
it.
want to lose. That's
They
the
did
issue.
tease
isn't
it, didn't they?
At the
Yeah.
Rumble.
At Rumble.
Yeah.
I quite like it. I'm up for that.
Either way, they are facing each other tonight, and I believe it's a situation to get Hardy at 50-50.
Yeah.
When's Jeff due back?
When's Jeff due back?
No idea.
I don't know, but there's talk that he will be at WrestleMania in some capacity as Brother Nero or something. Because that's a confined situation. If they do a deletion, he could be in it. That's not like hurting his injury, even if he just appears.
They could potentially film a lot of that in Louisiana as well, because there's some nice backdrops there.
Jeff's possessed by Sister Abigail.
What if they start at Access? And it goes live to the Access where no one's there anymore because obviously everyone's at WrestleMania and there's no Accesses on. And Matt Hardy's in the ring going, "Where are you?" And lights go out and he comes walking through all the light. That would be so cool, wouldn't it? And they walk to Mania and it's live because it's like a tiny one. Anyway, so we go Matt Hardy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a talking point. This match.
If they did do that and they did it out, New Orleans is probably the best place to do something.
Yeah. They stop and get crawfish. They're chatting.
Throw him in the bio.
There you
go. Go to Milan's or whatever it's called.
Yeah, they spend money in Starbucks. Are we all going Hardy then?
Yeah.
I love that Starbucks.
I know you do.
Yeah.
Hardy, yeah?
Hardy, yeah.
Cool. Lissy?
Yeah.
You going Bray?
I actually, in my gut, I feel Bray.
Oh wait, how does this work?
Yeah, I was going to say his doesn't count.
His
though.
doesn't count technically.
So it's 3-1 because I would have gone.
Okay, we'll go Hardy. What is live looking like?
Woken Matt Hardy.
Perfect. Live, I'd just like you, before you throw insults, that we are going to after we've discussed. And we cannot see the chat room. So if you have any issues with us going after or anything, because that has happened because you're sore losers. So it's just, sorry, are you going to have to field questions? The next match is tag titles. This is Titus Worldwide versus The Bar Potato. For 2 points. And Mafia and Podcast have both gone at the bar. Yeah. So they kind of did this storyline a few months back where Worldwide kind of got an upset win on Raw and then got a tag title match and then lost.
Yeah.
They kind of just resurfaced it because I think they're short, because I think they're probably a month too short with the Revival, because they don't want the Revival to just come in and lose before Mania. Yeah. And they need Revival still looking strong, but didn't help much at Raw 25 where they had to take all the finishes of DX and that. But
that was just nostalgia act. Come on.
Of course it was, but it doesn't help a brand new act. How do you feel the Ascension are getting on since that happened to them?
Fine.
Okay.
But you were just literally talking about how wins and losses with Bray and stuff, and
that
didn't mean anything.
For me, I'm saying I'm not. Like, if I was Revival, that's what I want to do. I don't want to win matches. I want to take a super kick from Shawn Michaels.
They're going to win the belts, aren't they? Eventually, so
we hope so. Yeah. But we did have this same conversation 2 years ago with the Ascension.
We did, yeah.
I definitely didn't.
Yeah, I know you didn't. All right.
I don't think I did either.
Well, you're a big Ascension fan.
Me?
You were big.
Yeah, when Brown was in it.
Oh, no, yes. Like you loved Connor. So what do you guys think? Is this just a situation to get us to Mania with the bar and feed him some fodder?
Yeah, it does feel like that. I do appreciate the effort of putting something into Titus Worldwide, though.
And do you know what? Do you know what? We have to talk about it.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, Kieran called us out that we were kind of bored when Apollo was out. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Then what did we see on that Raw?
He went for it.
It was a very small promo, and then all of a sudden he almost was reading lines, and we were like, "Oh no, why are they not letting him go?"
Yeah.
And at the end of the promo, he went, and we saw glimpses of excitement. There was something to it, charisma that we haven't seen before. The ones we knew was in there, but it wasn't being unleashed.
Yeah.
And him with Titus and Dana Brooke, the best statistician in the WWE.
Yeah.
What?
Just no.
But she is the best statistician in the WWE.
WW.
Diction, boys.
Yep.
But so I thought, wow. First time I went, wow, that's the guy we need to see.
Yeah.
So situation where Cesaro, Sheamus, they're hell of a good tag team. They are great, whatever we think of them, they're so good to watch. I love the end road, the end lane of their matches. Yeah. It's such a sports feel.
Yeah.
They're not staying in one corner. They're all over the place. They're shouting to each other. They're calling spots out loud because it makes sense that a team would communicate.
Yeah.
There's no reason not to. And they're saying, all right, hit them with that. The speed they're going at, the urgency they show is amazing. I think we're going to see actually a very good match, potentially Titus O'Neil's best match.
Yeah.
But I think, again, it is a way of just getting to WrestleMania with the bar as the champs without making anyone else look weak in the process.
Yeah.
Because I think you might even see a Revival run in the pre-show with the club.
Yeah.
Kind of just to get them back into our... Because I think they've purposely kept them off TV a little bit since Raw 25.
Yeah.
Just to kind of let that marinate and just disappear eventually. Kind of, put it on boil.
You were speaking in the car on the SmackDown side that would be the multiple tag match.
Yes.
Do you reckon it'll be maybe on the Raw side where there will be the multiple?
What are you
tag?
looking like? The Bar, Titus Worldwide, the Revival,
The club.
As of right now, there's a lot of multiple matches because it is such a dense roster.
Yeah, it is crazy how dense the roster is in the WWE.
It's the tag match at Mania, the ladder match.
Again, yeah.
That would be very
That'd
cool.
be good, wouldn't it?
It would be. It was there last year, and it's so tough to predict. But for this one, I am going to go to Bar as well.
Yeah, I think so.
Are we all in? I think that's easy.
I know that belt likes to jump around, but yeah.
I think they're starting to show glimpses that Titus Worldwide is a good thing. I don't think it's too early to give them the titles.
Yeah.
But I think it's showing its early signs of kind of. Could we look at Summer where we're going? Oh, like how Rusev just kind of takes off every now and then.
Yeah.
Could Titus Worldwide take off by SummerSlam?
Oh, everyone's winning in this situation. Yeah.
Lissy, what are live looking at?
They have gone the Bar also, but Punk reckons Titus Worldwide.
Oh, okay.
Well, we'll write that down.
I've written that down.
Punkosaurus, you will be credited, but you will not get a point.
I'll tell you what, Punkosaurus gets credited a lot.
He does, yeah. The next thing is not a voting situation.
No.
This is strictly conversational.
Ah, lovely. We love that.
This is Ronda Rousey is signing her full-time/part-time contract with the WWE. Okay. So, what do you guys think? What are we going to see here? What's the segment going to look like? Is she going to point a lot again? Is she going to just be cute as hell in a leather jacket?
Well, she does that well anyway. I hope she's confident. That's the only thing that I hope comes out of it. Like, I hope she's confident. I hope it comes across as if she's super confident.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, seeing her coming out at Rumble, that was amazing.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like she felt comfortable as of yet. Obviously, she's not necessarily going to.
Yeah.
But I just hope she comes out as confident as possible.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough one because in the UFC world, she was known as that person that had that it factor, that charisma.
Do you not think that plays into the story a bit more of coming into this wrestling world and she's not comfortable?
Yeah, like I've said before, in wrestling, there's no wrong. Everything can be made right. It's all down to how you do it. There's no such thing as wrong.
Well, a lot of people didn't like the fact she was smiling, but I was like, in reality, she's a huge WWE fan. It's been invited to Royal Rumble. Yeah. She's going to smile. I know that
she was wearing Piper's jacket.
Yeah,
she's going to be happy.
She was elated.
Well, it's funny because wrestling is one of those things. There is a lot of opinion with wrestling. Like everyone who loves wrestling, like we all do. Everyone listening, everyone here talking right now, we love wrestling, and we all have an opinion. But it's one of those things that you can't ever really do wrong because it's the beauty of it. It's art. You can't go wrong with art. If you mess up, you can make it right. There's no wrong answers.
I want to kiss you right now, Joe.
Yeah.
That's a great answer.
What I was going to say about Ronda Rousey, though, she was known in MMA as having, the charisma, the it factor. But there is a big difference between having charisma and it factor in sport and having charisma and it factor in entertainment. There's a difference.
Yeah.
Like she played that role of, she was, between fights, she was quite cutesy and quite, she had, the angelic face. And then when she got to the fight, hair up, angry, no makeup, nothing, just...
Stern face, walking to the ring, yeah.
Whereas in wrestling, trying to get that across in entertainment...
It's black and white. We've talked about this, haven't we? The WWE and the wrestling industry as a whole is very black and white.
And you saw that at Rumble. That was a prime example.
Yeah.
Because she was kind of doing that cutesy, smiley, pointing at the Mania sign thing. And it was kind of coming across a little bit it wasn't one way or the other. It was kind of
Grey.
she was in the middle. Yeah, whereas like you say, black and white, it has to be one way or the other.
Well, it's like film. When you watch film, there's lots of grey. There's lots of intricate characters that have 5 or 6 elements to them. In the WWE, you need to have singular character traits.
Yeah.
You're a badass, you're a villain, you're this. For whatever reason, it doesn't translate otherwise because people Braun Strowman's done a tiny bit of comedy, and the fans are up in arms about it. I thought he was supposed to be a monster. It's he's still a monster. What's scarier than a monster that's being funny? And then he kills you. It's even scarier.
Welcome to my life.
Jack Whitehall thinks he's big, apparently.
I didn't realise until talking to you guys now about this that this whole Ronda Rousey's appearance at Rumble was such a big thing, because I didn't see any problem or issue with it whatsoever.
Oh, what, the way she was being?
The way she was acting, the way she... I thought it was brilliant, and it was Ronda just being Ronda.
I didn't question it.
I didn't think it was bad because I was too busy marking out.
I didn't question it. I was like, oh my god, Ronda Rousey's on TV.
But it was her doing that little... whatever you just said about her.
The cutesy angelic thing that she did.
She was doing... And I think it worked. It's like she's almost a little bit cocky with it. Like, I'm going to Mania and I've only just got here.
Well, it looks weird to our eyes because we're used to things being a certain way. So when we see that, we go, that's different.
I do like that as a character, as part of her character.
Yeah.
Because she's genuinely terrifying.
Yeah.
So to know that she can do what she can do and then be cute, I like that.
Yeah.
But I think there needs to be a confidence about it, I think.
Yeah.
I got that. I got that arrogance coming through when she pointed at that sign. It was like, I'm going there.
Well, the fact that
and I haven't had to win a match.
Yeah, but the fact that she came out at the end of the entire Royal Rumble pay-per-view, went round and shook every female's hand, smiling. Arrogance was coming through the TV.
Yeah.
It was hitting me in the face. Like, she was there.
Yeah.
She didn't. She... did Charlotte shake it?
I
Asuka
don't know.
didn't.
She
Asuka
made
pushed
her
her hand away.
Asuka didn't. Charlotte and...
Stephanie.
Alexa did, and Stephanie did.
Yeah.
I think the Rumble was quite weird because we were all expecting her to be in the Rumble.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. It was a little bit after it, and it was pure just on Rumble at that point.
And that's exactly what it's doing. Is we're almost cementing of what we're saying. What we're saying about wrestling is, when there is grey area, it's confusing.
Yeah.
That's why there's usually very little grey, is because one person can see it as cocky. Kieran and Joe saw it as cocky. Lissy saw it as just kind of angelic, excited. Whereas I might see it as like, that's like a serial killer.
Yeah. That's
because she's terrifying, but why is she smiling at them?
Well, that's the way I kind of took it. It was scary. Like it was like, why are you smiling so much?
But that's what leads us to tonight, where she's going to finally sign this contract.
Yeah.
Is there going to be shenanigans?
Yeah, there's a couple of factors that I think play into the contract signing tonight, and then affect her journey going towards WrestleMania. So my first thing is, where's it going to be situated in essence to the women's chamber?
Is she after the Nia Alexa? Yeah, there's a lot of things.
And then who's also involved in the contract signing? Is it Steph or is it
Kurt Angle? Because they have said that she is a part of the Raw brand.
We are going to find out a lot.
I think Asuka's going to have some involvement.
Yeah. I've seen some feedback on our social media, TWS Radio on Facebook, saying very similar. Is that everyone believes this is Asuka's moment to kind of face to face. I think that they might tease it, but it's not happening.
Yeah,
it's like a longer.
I think it's down the line happening.
I think they need to build to that match, because if we, as we were talking earlier, we think Ronda's probably going to go unbeaten for a while.
Yeah,
that is the big payoff of SummerSlam.
Unbeaten versus unbeaten.
Yeah,
maybe next year's WrestleMania.
True.
Yeah, because it's once in a lifetime you end up with a situation like that where you have unbeaten women like that who are so sought after by the crowd that they can actually have a big payoff match at WrestleMania, because it's never happened clearly, because we're in the early stages of this revolution where this year's Mania could have 4 or 5 women's matches, which is fantastic.
Yeah, good. Who knew Jack Whitehall had so much knowledge though?
Yeah. The other part also with this is, it, like Bruno said, it's very telling of where it ends up in the card, because we've got so much implication with the Nia Asuka match. There's implication with the Chamber match. If this happens prior to all of that, you're looking at a mixed tag situation. Steph and Trips congratulating her, maybe bringing up what she did at WrestleMania and how they embarrassed her, and that's why they've signed her, and then maybe a Braun appearance.
Yeah.
But again, if it's before the Raw Chamber, don't expect a Braun or a Rollins or whoever we expect a team with her at WrestleMania to come out, because they've got a big match to prepare for. They're not going to be involved in that yet. Yeah. And also that's kind of jumping the shark a little bit, because you go, oh, they're not winning the Chamber then because they're going with Rousey to Mania.
Yeah.
Or could that be a red herring? You send Braun out there to help her, and then he wins the Chamber, and everyone goes, I thought he was going to be Ronda. And then on Raw, Seth comes out and talks to Ronda, and you go, oh, because they have the ability tonight to really confuse us.
Yeah.
And but for me personally, going into Mania, I don't like to be confused. I want after tonight to go, that's that match, that's that match, that's that match. I got 5 weeks to get amped up for these matches. Yeah. I don't like it when sometimes even 2 weeks before Mania they're putting stuff on the line that could change it, and you're like, no, I want to build this. I want it to be fever pitch by Mania.
Yeah, I want that glossy book just done.
Right in front of you. I almost want them to read out the card this Tuesday on SmackDown out of the whole thing from back to front, and I go. I don't like it when because last year the Andre Giant Battle Royal, they announced it like a week before, and they announced like 6 people in it, and that was it. And then the rest of the card just in there, and we're like, okay, I guess.
I kind of like a little bit mystique about the whole
especially
card.
when the card's so big, I guess.
Yeah,
isn't it?
I agree with
Yeah.
Kiki.
And there we go. I for one, I think if I had to guess, you think Asuka? I think Steph's and Trips.
I think Stefan Trips is likely.
I think Stefan Trips.
I want Asuka because that moment at the Rumble was so big and special. So I want that something. There's got to be something there.
If it is Charlotte, I hope it does involve the 4 horsewomen.
Okay. I could see a SummerSlam Survivor Series could be a hell of a main event. But yeah, I think it's coming. I think that's definitely coming.
Yeah.
But the next match, guys, what I say now? What was in the chat room? Everyone say what they thought might happen, or was it kind of unanimous?
A few of them weren't necessarily happy with a celebrity, as it were, coming in and taking the Royal Rumble away from Asuka, the limelight away from Asuka, because like you say, she didn't come in during and get thrown over the top. She came out after when it was Asuka's moment. And the fact that she can come in and just go straight to WrestleMania, I fully understand that, and I would be completely on their side. You know me. I would be completely on that if she wasn't signed and if she wasn't training.
Yes, and I agree. Like, yeah, if Usher walks out and just parades around, that's it. You'd kind of be like, pop your collar and bugger off, Usher. Do you know what I mean? You would though, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you?
Yes, because
you'd say A-Town down, go away. You know, Little Joe would go, yeah. But that'll be it. Like,
that's just bollocks.
Yeah, she's adding to a storyline that's coming.
Yeah, and she's adding to the women's revolution because she did that single-handedly in the UFC.
And interestingly, what they said in there is exactly what WWE want you to think, which is fantastic to see working, because the women are going out on social media really going at Ronda saying you took away our moment. Just because you're cool in MMA doesn't mean you've done anything here, which is exactly what they want you to believe. The women, if they have any sense, are loving this because this is only bringing eyes to them.
That's what I was going to say. I want to play devil's advocate to what they're saying from even like a wrestler's point of view. If you're a wrestler, if you're the women in the WWE, you're over the moon about this because you're having people seeing you for the first time that would never have known who you were before.
Because people are intrigued by the Ronda Rousey.
And on our level, if we're doing one of our UPW shows, let's say, and who could turn up that's famous? No, someone's famous.
Jack Whitehall.
If Jack Whitehall, who is here today, and I will ask you after this to come to our next UPW show, Jack Whitehall turns up, it brings a whole new audience to
they're seeing you do the thing that only niche fans of it would have.
Yeah, only the people within that building, only the people that have the network would have seen it, but...
I remember Cody Rhodes saying the exact thing. He said at WrestleMania 28, a lot of the wrestlers ignored The Rock when he wrestled Cena in Miami because they felt they were taking their paydays away.
Yeah.
And Cody said, I went into his dressing room, I shook his hand and I said, thank you for the payday. Because he was saying, do you know how many more millions of people are going to watch this tonight based on you being here, being the biggest actor in the world, as opposed to if you weren't here and the money that... He said, because they're thinking short term. They're going, oh, if they're paying him $2 million... oh, maybe mine's not going to be 100 grand tonight, it's going to be 90 grand or 80 grand.
Yeah, but remember Finlay said... when Cena was at his highest, popularity-wise, when he was on a Raw, everyone else's paychecks went up.
Yeah, so Austin was the same.
And if he wasn't on there, you got a lower paycheck. So wrestlers, when Rock and Ronda are going to come in, their paychecks going up. So of course they're going to be happy.
And even if it isn't short-term, it's long-term, because when they do stop and go away, hopefully you've made new fans. That's the point they're here. So therefore, the fan base isn't 1 million people, it's 2 million people. Therefore, your paychecks are going to even get bigger and bigger. So,
you've always got to be grateful for whoever is pulling in those numbers.
As long as they have a reach from
it's got to be a legitimate pull, but you have to be grateful of it. You can't be bitter, you can't be angry. Like, there's a tradition in wrestling where you thank the main event for the show.
Yeah.
Because they're the ones essentially bringing those people to the building.
It's the same reason why Kieran thanks us, Joe, afterwards.
Exactly.
And that's why WrestleMania has those. They've always had it. That's a tradition that they've kind of had. A celebrity... a wrestler coming back.
Because the whole world now sees WrestleMania. People, wrestling fans are for the most part, forget how niche wrestling is. I know it's big, it's global, but it's very niche in the grand scheme of things.
I still have some old school friends that don't watch it at all anymore, but every year they tune in for WrestleMania because it's WrestleMania.
And a lot of people do, yeah. And when they hear even when The Rock's on it, they tune in. They do these things.
Definitely. Now we're going into, I consider these the 3 main events. First of all, we've got Nia Jax versus Asuka for 1 point, believe it or not. And the implications are, if Nia can beat Asuka and end that undefeated run, she will be added to the women's title match on Raw.
Yeah.
Which, wording-wise, they're being very clever.
Yeah.
They're being very tricky.
Very
tricky with their
your
questions. Very tricky with their
Tricky
questions.
with your questions.
Because what they're saying there is she's not being added to Asuka's match. They're saying that she's being added to the Raw Women's Championship match.
Okay.
So I'm looking for heavy shenanigans, and Mafia and Podcast are going to Asuka. I'm going to just throw out an idea here. Are we talking Women's Chamber maybe kicks off the show to separate it from the men's?
Yeah, I can see that.
They just had the Rumble main event. Now they switch it back. Alexa somehow retains.
Yep.
She comes out at the end of this, costs Nia the match. Asuka stays undefeated. Then on Raw tomorrow, throughout the night, they can talk about it. Asuka comes out and goes, so who are you facing and what, in like, blah, blah, blah. She goes, I want Charlotte on Raw.
Okay.
So therefore, SmackDown's booked because now Charlotte can respond.
Yeah.
And the other women on SmackDown can respond like, you're taking away our title shot. And then Kurt Angle comes out and said, that means Alexa, you got no opponent. How about the person that you screwed out of their chance last night and makes it Nia Jax Asuka, which the story's already there, being best friends.
True.
Maybe adding a Charlotte and a Bayley to that.
Yeah.
Who are also starting to, doing some kind of multi-match or it could be a tournament. You could look at maybe a few-week tournament, or a gauntlet match or something to decide this. Even a night after Elimination Chamber Royal Rumble with the women again.
Yeah,
or something along those lines to restate who is the champ or the most deserving. So in that sense, I don't. You cannot end Asuka's winning streak.
No.
The only downside is does she lose by DQ, and they say then they move it from she hasn't lost to she hasn't been pinned or submitted.
They can.
But I think that just makes it so much less of an impact.
Makes it dirty, doesn't it?
Yeah,
messes everything up.
They can't do that the month before Mania. I don't see the benefits of it, honestly.
No.
So in my opinion, I would 100% go with Asuka.
Yeah,
she's undefeated Empress of Tomorrow.
Yeah,
always put your money on Asuka.
Asuka.
You don't.
I can't wait for a promo on Ronda.
Yeah.
Was she working?
Yeah, exactly. And also, we haven't seen an undefeated streak this long in the WWE for a long time.
Yeah.
If you're going to end it, you got to end it properly.
How many days is she now?
I think it's like 540 or something. It's the longest of all time, except for, I believe, Bruno Sammartino.
Yeah.
Something along those lines.
Do you know when I last lost?
A day ago.
Last night.
Maybe 18 hours ago?
Probably.
Oh, what happened, boys? I won.
Okay,
Yeah.
we helped you win that. Anyway, we're going to go for Asuka then, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay,
Definitely.
Asuka.
And live is going to go...
Oscar.
Oh, we all know.
I'm going to tell you right now that the whole show is exactly the same.
Wow.
Oh, what? Everybody all across the board?
All 4 teams have gone the exact same so far.
Wow.
So no one's... I can tell you right now, I'm going to bring this up now.
Do it.
Mafia and Podcast have said no to a Joker.
Okay.
The Joker round, Bruno, if you do not know, is once a year, similar to fantasy football, you can play a Joker round. That Joker round means you double every point you get for one show. Okay. Is this the show where, let's say this ends in a certain way where everyone's gone exactly the same, there's no changes. If you throw your Joker in now, you could extend yourself from the back, because we all seem very certain of what's happening tonight.
Yeah.
You separate, you could double your points, you go flying ahead, because everyone's waiting for WrestleMania, I know it.
Yeah.
Because they're thinking 16 matches, more points to be won, more likely to, because even if you get half of them right, you're more likely, and all the championships are on the line. So technically there. But that's something to think about. We'll come back to that right at the end, and we'll double check with live and what we're going to do.
So tactical.
But live, maybe I've just coaxed you into maybe taking that option. Let's just see. The next match is the Women's Chamber, the first ever. 3 points. We're looking at Daria, Mandy,
Sonia.
yeah, Mandy Sacramento from Instagram.
Yeah.
You're looking at Mickey James, the lovely Mickey James.
Yeah.
We're looking at Sasha Banks, Bayley,
Yeah.
and Alexa Bliss.
Wow.
I can tell you right now that Mafia and Podcast have both gone Bliss, so it's continuing that everyone's staying the same. At the minute, I'm saying I truly believe what I said just a minute ago when we were just talking about it, that what's happening is happening, where Alexa's going to start the show, she's going to somehow retain,
Yeah.
and then she moves on. Or could you be in a position, okay, here, let's say she comes out and tries to help Nia later because she's her bestie,
Yeah.
and ends up costing her.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, in the chamber, Sasha and Bayley do a double pin or something.
Okay.
Like a double suplex or something.
Yeah.
They both win the championship, but they go, no, we have to figure this out on Raw. And then, so you got Nia, who's been screwed out of her opportunity. Alexa has a rematch and those two are joint champions, like until they figure it out,
Kurt's
making the
got hell in
four-way.
this. He's got hell in
Yeah,
this in his hands.
they could do something like that.
But you've had that little story going on between Mickey and Alexa, haven't you?
Yeah, I think that was just to get to the show.
Yeah.
You never know. Like Dan, I think we spoke to Dan yesterday about it. He believes Mickey might be involved in the Mania match with Nia and Alexa being like kind of all the people Alexa's led on along the way.
Yeah. Well, so it's like one big downfall for Alexa at Mania.
Yeah, so it's like her, like the friends she kept trying to pretend she had, and they weren't
It's all
really.
imploded.
Yeah, I personally think I like it. It's similar to how Edge used to do it in the Chamber.
Yeah.
He was the big heel going in, somehow would scrape and claw and end up winning somehow.
Yeah, I like
and I think you're looking for some maybe a big rift. The big story of the whole thing, I think, is going to be Sasha and Bailey falling out. And maybe very similar to, you remember New Year's Resolution in 2006 where Edge cashed in afterwards?
Yeah.
Carlito and Chris Masters.
Yes.
The Masters of Cool, as 5-star call them. They had Cena down and they were working him over, and all of a sudden they turned on each other. Quick pin, Cena wins just from underneath. He's covered in blood. Could that be a situation with Alexa where it comes down to those two and Alexa and you go, Alexa's done it.
Yeah.
Then they turn on each other.
Yeah.
One pins one and Alexa does a quick roll up and flies out like, how did she do this? And she has that shocked face, which she's so good at kind of pulling that kind of facial.
Is Carmella's contract just for SmackDown?
No one knows. It's similar to how they've worded this. They don't really word it like she can only cash in on SmackDown. But some weeks they do, but some weeks they kind of infer, because, you know, as we know with the WWE, that they do change things here and there, like to kind of fit what they want to go with next. So there is a chance you could see something like that, but you could also see something with Asuka and Charlotte at Mania where Carmella beats Charlotte.
Yeah.
And she does a Seth Rollins at WrestleMania.
True.
Asuka doesn't lose, but doesn't win the championship.
Yeah.
There's a lot
throwing
of
this
ingredients.
around,
There's a lot of
This
ingredients.
is the thing. The WWE have a very cool area because they're very spooky, even because they're going to be able to dictate anything because they've got such an open like canvas to play with right now. There's so many options.
It's like they're playing GM mode and they've just got all their options available.
Yeah, they're good options.
Yeah, they're loving it.
How do you think the build-up to the Women's Chamber's been? Because
it's been poor.
on the men's side, we've had a gauntlet match. We've had who's coming in last.
Braun and Elias pairing up, Finn and Miz pairing up, Braun and Miz, and then Cena talking about his road to redemption.
Yeah.
In this one, all we've kind of got is Alexa's trying to pile up because there seems to be buddy everywhere. Like you got Mandy and Sonya, you've got Mickey and Alexa now, and you've got Bailey and Sasha. It's kind of all becoming like a 3 tag teams in one chamber, as opposed to not been much thought gone into it, I don't think. I think Alexa's getting a lot of time to talk about it, because the real story is, can Alexa get through an elimination chamber? And I think they'll deliver on that by letting her win.
Do we think that because it's the first that they haven't tried to do it as much? Because the first men's chamber, there wasn't really much.
Yeah, there wasn't a build. It was just like 6 of them kept beating each other up. There was no like real stories going in.
So this women's chamber's really the unknown, and
I like that.
It'll come with the practicality of it as well, the physicality, because I remember Edge saying it about the first women's Money in the Bank. They don't need to do much because you don't want to set the bar too high.
No.
Yeah.
You know, keep it simple.
It's what the men did wrong when they did like a Hell in a Cell. Second Hell in a Cell. The first Hell in a Cell, they left the Hell in a Cell and fell from halfway. Second one, they went off the top and threw it.
Yeah.
At that point, you're like, well, there's no more to do. So everyone was like, they didn't go off the cell though.
Yeah.
So, and the same with the ladder matches, the Hardy Boys and the Dudleys and Edge and Christian, they set the bar so high that when you do a ladder match, it's about the actual point of it, which is trying to get up it and actually teasing that. People go, where are the really cool spots? So what the women have to do is be clever. These girls have got to set the cement, the foundations for the women for the next 50 years.
Yeah.
Because they're going to have to do chambers every year now, rumbles every year,
Yeah.
ladder matches every year, tables matches. If they go out there and jumping off the pods, through the sides, and they're doing all the spots, where do next year go?
Yeah.
So they have to be careful. So that's why I believe it'll go on first, because I think they'll leave the big spots, the big moments to people like Finn. Braun Strowman doing something stupid with the chains or something along those lines.
That would be a bit more gimmicky. I think if you look back to like the Money in the Bank as well, like if that's how they worked that Money in the Bank situation, everyone kind of had issues with the lack of spots in that.
Yeah.
Because of that reason of not overdoing
They didn't want to overdo it, yeah.
If that's how WWE sees it, because they did it with the Money in the Bank, I could see the same thing.
Yeah, I agree.
Again.
But where does that leave? Who's the winner? We went off on a tangent there. Get in trouble again, won't we? Tangents are our enemy. I say Bliss. I see it being Sasha, Bailey, Bliss last.
Yeah.
The turn.
And they'll turn, like Sasha will turn on Bailey, quick cover, Bailey shocked, straight into a roll up. Alexa flies out the cage, and we're left with Sasha and Bailey in the ring, in the chamber, still looking at each other.
I
and
really,
Alexa's up the ramp
really,
laughing.
really hope Sasha does not do any stupid dives, hurts herself in that metal grip.
Yeah, especially with
tonight.
Mania coming
You
out,
can
yeah.
see that, can't you?
Yeah, hopefully, because I know, and it's great. It's so cool to see someone like Sasha, where she clearly wants to have moments.
Yeah.
But it's like, feather them out. Don't overdo it. And I know she'll want to, like we would. Like if I was putting a chamber tomorrow, I'd do all the things.
Yeah.
But you have to be clever with it and think, all right, WrestleMania's just around the corner.
Yeah, but
This
when you
is
do
it.
a normal dive, you can probably do one and get away with it fine.
You think?
But every time she's attempted one, something
goes slightly wrong,
happens.
yeah.
She scorpion lands. And can you imagine just her doing that on the metal grid?
Well, another thing we're forgetting is a lot of people seem to have forgotten that last year they'd redone the chamber.
Yeah.
The grates don't exist. They have it's very tall now, isn't it? And they have the lights running up each side. It's a very cool, like, situation. Very spooky even. But the grates now aren't grates. They're almost like the outside matting, but on wood.
It's still going to work, though.
Oh,
Solid.
this is the issue I had last year. Remember last year, AJ took a superplex off a pod to the grid.
Yes.
And everyone was like, because it was on a mat. And everyone was like, no, it's way better than the grid. Trust me. Like Edge said, he was like, those grids were the worst situation in wrestling. Like, it was like the worst gimmick match that you just can't actually not get away with just hurting yourself.
Yeah.
But those they were taking like crazy bumps. Like Cena was falling backwards off the top to just the outside, and people weren't bobbing for it because they were like, oh, they're just mats. It's like, that's wood. It's like landing in a ring from that
It's
high.
a
Like,
dead stop. Yeah.
yeah, so hopefully they could get more creative.
Is
with
it
doing
wood
this.
or is it just a mat over the metal grid?
It might be that, yeah. It didn't make a sound. I think that's what some people like the audio, don't they? I think you would the grates. They were unforgiving. They didn't look great when you landed on them. Like no one took a flat back. Everyone was like, but they had that like the chains. Whereas I think last year because of that, it was almost like soundproofing. Like it was kind of like a thud, and you're like, oh.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. In the men's one, there's a lot of people that will take risks. So it'd be interesting to see. But are we going to go Bliss?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think I'll always and forever go Bliss.
Amen.
Amen.
Yeah, I think so.
Home? Amen Holmes or are you saying amen like Christian?
Yeah.
Christian? You're going Christian in the
I'm
women's
going
battle?
Christian.
Okay, cool. So we were going Bliss. Let's see, what is live looking like?
Bliss.
We are going into the last match with a full house, a full deck. All four teams are exactly together.
Wow.
Right at the minute, this prediction league was pointless as it stands because no one's going to... As it stands, there's no way that we can't be top after this, which is cool. Because the worst case scenario is we go something else here.
We're parking the bus.
We could do, but we're not, just in case Live are worrying about it.
Yeah.
But now we're on to the men's elimination chamber. The first ever 7-man chamber.
Wow.
Where 3 men will start the match. It is for 3 points, and this involves The Miz, Finn Balor, Seth Rollins, Elias, Braun Strowman, John Cena, and Roman Reigns.
That is some stars.
It's, yes. I believe that Finn, Miz, because Miz obviously has to start it. He's number 1.
Yeah.
I think Finn and Seth will probably start with him. And you're looking at Elias, number 6. He's number 7, technically. He's the last out of the chamber. I think you'll be looking at maybe Braun out just before him and Cena and Roman entering the fray 3 and 4.
Yeah.
Just as like to build the match, you're going to look at your workhorses early on.
Yeah.
And also, they're least likely to win probably Seth, Miz and Finn. So you want them to be kind of in there to kind of get all their bits in, make sure people feel... if they're coming out number like 6 and then they're losing like 5 minutes later, it's not a good look for them.
Yeah.
Especially right before Mania. I think the elephant in the room we have to discuss is we all know Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar is happening at WrestleMania.
Seems that way, yeah.
For a point of interest, I'm going to say what that tweet said. What if Roman Reigns doesn't win? And I think with the way people have reacted on social media and the audience, everyone around the world, the wrestlers themselves, and the WWE, Seth Rollins had a coming out party.
Yeah.
He has lost his match recently at Jason Jordan. This is an exceptional circumstance. Seth Rollins hasn't got a match at WrestleMania. Do they implant him into a triple threat in the main with Roman and Brock? Ooh. Do they just take Roman's place? Does Roman then go on to Ronda because they see that as a bigger situation where he sees more eyeballs are on Roman? Yeah. Because that's what they want. Vince wants Roman to be The Rock. He wants him to Stone Cold. Well, not like just like him, but that style.
Yeah.
At WrestleMania, if he's winning the championship off of Brock Lesnar or if he's teaming with Ronda Rousey, what gets more eyeballs and what makes him a bigger star? Ooh. That's what WWE are probably asking themselves right now. right now with Rollins losing his match,
that's
the opportunity they could go. All right, let's just put Rollins straight in there with Brock.
Yeah.
We'll move that. We'll put Braun with Miz, and we'll put Finn somewhere else.
Yeah.
They could easily do that.
Yeah.
I think the likelihood is of Roman just flat out winning, and there's some shenanigans with Undertaker and Cena in the end, and you look at Braun going on with Ronda.
Yeah.
Could it end with Cena and Reigns, and then there's the Dong?
That's what I see.
They kind of don't really know who it's for.
Jeez. God, there's a lot of ways they can go here, and like you say, there is that extra added option of Rollins being thrown up in the air now. Like, they clearly want him in a situation. There's I think the two elephants in the room, like you say with the Taker thing, the two elephants in the room are Undertaker and Cena, Reigns and Brock, and it's how they get to those two situations. If that's the two main elements of the chamber match that we're getting to, I think, the Rollins thing does throw a real big spanner in the works.
And the bigger one is there's a lot of talk that people want to see Finn Brock. I don't necessarily see the big attraction in it. I know Bruno does.
Yeah, it's very Japanese.
Yeah, it is. And that's the thing is, would they go for that? Especially with AJ and Shinsuke on the other side working what will be like a Wrestle Kingdom type match.
Feels like they're kind of giving that to you.
Yeah, I feel like that is the smokescreen to go, accept Roman Brock because we're giving you this. But at the same time, Roman Brock is going to go down like a fart in church at WrestleMania. It really might.
Brock's rumoured to be there tonight, by the way.
That could be another kink to the chain here, because if he's there, could he stop Roman?
Jeez.
And then you're adding elements to the story, because I would like to see Rollins getting in somehow added to that match. But again, I don't know how you get there, because this is pretty straightforward. Whoever wins tonight is going against Brock. I don't know how anyone gets added unless they do a double pin.
Yeah. So you're kind of thinking like along the lines of what we had when Rollins cashed in and made it a triple threat, but we're having it from the get-go this time.
Yeah, and I don't see how he gets to that, other than doing what we said about the women's one with Sasha and Bayley doing a double pin. Like, let's see you have Roman and Rollins do a double pin.
Yeah.
And then Brock comes out and says, I'll have both of you, and then...
Unless Reigns wins, and then the next night Jason Jordan asks Rollins, can Rollins be in the main event too?
And he does it because his son.
Oh, yeah, there is way. Like I said earlier, with wrestling, you can fix anything.
And then Kurt says yes.
Yeah.
If he can beat Braun Strowman in the main, and then Kurt comes out and limit slams Seth and says, "You're not dictating anything," and that sets that one in.
Yeah,
motion.
true.
I think whatever happens, I think if you just think with your brain, I think it's Roman Reigns all day. It's him and Brock at Mania. It's probably the simplest one on the card.
Well, at least he did just pass you a note.
Oh, breaking news, Joe. Get that glass. This is great.
I'm not magic like that. I need to click the glorious button.
Oh, take the glorious man. Breaking news!
Released by his contract on January 14th, 2018, Bobby Lashley has been heavily rumoured to be signing with WWE, as reported by Dave Meltzer.
Okay.
The latest is that he's agreed terms. This is rumoured; it's not confirmed yet. Agreed terms with WWE and is heavily linked to go into a feud with Brock Lesnar.
Okay, that does make sense.
Could he be the 8th man?
Wow!
In the Elimination Chamber at the WWE pay-per-view tonight?
Is he going to be like chained to the side?
I don't know how they're going to do it. I think they should start adding pods. Like, I think it should almost look like a wasp nest.
Yeah.
There should be little circular pods in the roof that they're all in and they just open. Like almost like a Royal Rumble match.
But you talk about a fight in church at Mania. That match is that
Bobby
not?
and Brock. It might. Yeah. You never know. But thank you to the chat room for alerting that. And we just had a little search button on the old iPhone.
I think good smartphones are available.
Like, well, they're not.
No,
they're rubbish.
Yeah, right.
So back to the matter at hand. I believe that we should just go with our head and just stick with the Reigns.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to say to everyone right now, what's your head saying? I'm saying Reigns.
Braun.
Whoa. Yeah, the big dog Reigns.
Let's see.
I don't know.
Because this isn't our vote, by the way. I'm just trying to get like a...
Oh, really? That was my vote.
I'm Rollins.
You're Rollins, I know that. Well, I'm just saying, but what's your heart saying?
Braun.
Okay, I don't think he gets the difference. My heart is saying like a Seth.
Yeah.
But I believe it's Reigns all day.
Oh, if you're looking at the writing on the wall, there's one, maybe two options.
Yeah. I think genuinely believe that this is the simplest vote on the night.
Yeah.
But if you're going to go Braun...
Do we think this is the big dethroning of Lesnar at Mania then? and you think it is set in stone because everyone has reported it and everyone thinks that they know what WWE are booking, it's going to be Reigns.
Yes.
Yeah.
Why not a Braun? Why not a Braun?
No,
I'd love it to be Braun. It's going to be Roman Reigns.
The other side of
I disagree.
It's fine to disagree, and I'd love it to not be that way.
Because of the way things have been panning out, the other side of my head does say Braun.
Yeah.
Like, I am pretty much 50-50 on whether it's Braun or Reigns. But if I'm going with WWE going into WrestleMania, I'm going Reigns.
I'm thinking Braun or Rollins. Because I think they're building Braun so much. One, I actually want to see what hellacious thing he does.
Oh, after that thing that happened in the last match where he caught him, I want to see how that plays out.
But I honestly think the way that they're pushing Rollins at the moment, he will definitely be in that main event, whether it's a triple threat or whether it's singles against Brock. I think him and Brock could have a really, really good match. And then that probably then ties Reigns maybe in with the Ronda instead of the Rock.
There's so many ways it could go. My vote will be Roman Reigns.
Yeah, same.
Kieran.
Bruno just put a thought in my head. The whole Ronda thing. Rock's his cousin. So there's a link there. That Rock says, "Oh, I'm not going to be able to make it, but here's my cousin."
True. Or they send out Manu, maybe.
I think he burnt his bridges.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm very torn. Based on the build up to this, my head tells me Braun specifically, just because of how strong he looks.
Mm-hmm.
I think Braun versus Brock Lesnar on top just looks crazy. Like Braun being the biggest babyface in the company right now against Brock Lesnar. That's where my head's at. But if I'm being safe, I'm going Reigns.
All right, we got to get down to brass tacks here. Kieran.
Braun.
Roman Reigns.
Reigns.
Okay. Bruno, this is just for
Rollins.
And you'll both be credited if this happens. If it doesn't, you are going to be dunked in my ice pool.
That ain't happening.
But if you get it right, then you get a starburst.
A starburst?
Malwam.
Just one.
I want a Starbucks. A
Starburst.
God.
Basic.
Don't eat pork. Don't eat gelatin.
Not even with a fork.
God, yeah.
Lissy, how is live looking like?
Reigns.
We have... Okay, well, we're not officially yet. Guys, live, I need to know. Do you want to go Joker?
They are not playing their Joker.
So, now...
Hell no. That's my
agree.
answer. I ain't doing that.
No?
No.
But, all right. Well, actually, let's look...
11 points.
Is that what it is?
What you can get from this.
Yeah.
This night is
It's not much, is it?
No.
So 22 is your best case scenario. At WrestleMania, let's say there's 13 matches. They average 2 points because there's a lot of title matches. There's 26 points for grabs, let's say. To win the Joker, that'd be 52.
That's a big
Exactly.
But even if you get half of them right and do the Joker, you're going to end up with 26. Yeah, it's no. Yeah, it's not
everyone's going to do that. You know that.
I was thinking Backlash. That's the one I've got my eyes set on. You got to go. Night of Champions would be a good one.
It would, yeah.
Because it's all the championship
Lots of
matches. And it'll be a 4-hour pay-per-view because it'll be dual branded.
The stakes are high.
So we'll have to take that into consideration. So it is official. The first time in over nearly 3 years that we've been doing this, Joe. Literally every team has agreed that this is the most basic, to the point, the most predictable match show you'll ever see.
This is where we get them all wrong. Everybody.
Yeah, that'd be funny, wouldn't it?
I want at
Spanner
least
in
one
the
of these
works.
wrong. Like, because also you got to remember, if all of us get it right, we all get an extra 5 points for getting a clean house.
Oh yeah.
That's the thing that's happening this year. So, but it doesn't change anything because it just means that everyone gets. But that's the other thing. If we all do it again right, and you do a Joker, that's an extra 5 points double. That's 10 points. So let's say it was a 12.9, 11.9. Double, that's 22. 32 you could win tonight if you did a Joker.
Oh.
Now we're talking. There you're talking points. I'm not actually sure on any of these though, even though we've all gone the same. Because that's what we've talked about it tonight. The different routes it could take. The veins of this is kind of, it could go in any direction. We've all kind of gone with the most predictable and what we think is going to happen. But it's the kind of time where sometimes there's not that many options because you're like, that's the only option. Yeah. There's so many options, especially with the unfortunate Jason Jordan injury, throwing Seth Rollins into the mix. Then the Raw he had this week has really changed that up. The fact that Sasha and Bayley aren't going to be on the card as it stands. Asuka going over to SmackDown. What do the women on SmackDown do? There's so many things that are up in the air that it's made it a little bit more interesting. Even though it seems to be predictable, But that's why you have to stay up tonight and watch the WWE Network for $9.99 to make sure you've got all of these right.
There's multiple roads to WrestleMania this year. It's kind of like Google Maps when they give you the various options, and one takes 1 hour 28, one takes 1 hour 34, one may take 1 hour 58.
Yeah, and we've all gone the quickest route.
Yeah.
But will there be roadworks?
Who knows?
It'd be so good if this was Roadblock. That would have been the coolest outro. Obviously, I wouldn't have said Roadworks. I said Roadblock. So, guys, that has been the Elimination Chamber preview, albeit predictable.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a good card. I think the two chambers will carry the card. I think it'll be interesting. It'd be so cool to see the women inside the chamber and then to see what they do.
Yeah.
And again, the men, I think, will just hit out of the park. I think particularly that group of guys could really have some chamber. So, worth staying up for, yes. If not, watch it on the WWE Network for $9.99 tomorrow.
Get your eyes on it.
I want to watch it, but I've got to get up early.
Watch it tomorrow.
Debating it. Watch it tomorrow.
We are.
Yeah?
Long weekend, whatever. We lost matches.
Very long.
You didn't. So, guys, that has been the show. That's TWS family, including Jack Whitehall. You can follow him at Jack Whitehall on Twitter and Instagram. But he's also got a friend that he wants us to promote, and that is at Bruno is Dunzo on Instagram. If you want to go give him a big follow, he likes to Instagram maybe every 9-10 months when he goes to Reading Festival, or maybe even attends an NFL game. You'll learn very quickly he likes Alexa Bliss by his likes and the Colts. He is a big jolly man. He is lovely to look at. He's the prettiest man I know. So go give him a follow if you want to see that lovely face. How have you enjoyed it, Bruno? Roaming fifth, man. Fifth. We got with Chambers are adding men. We're adding men.
Is this a record? That we got fifth?
Dan said it wasn't, but I think he's lying.
It's definitely a record. Weight wise, I reckon it's probably.
This is the heaviest. What is the combined weight?
Well, I'm a vegan. I'm pulling you all down.
I've had a lot of cake.
Genuinely, I reckon we're close to 1,000 pounds.
Jesus.
And how cool is that? But also very dangerous, guys.
And luckily, we are doing this show on a cattle weighing machine.
Yes, we are, and we can see that it's actually 9,999. That's too many. That's 10,000. I'm going to 10,000. We're not that big.
Take 1 9 off, and you can get the network, and you can watch the Elimination Chamber tonight.
Which company is that?
The WWE.
Good diction. Guys, we're going out on a theme of the week, Joe. Have you actually put it in there?
I have, and I'm not going to let it play over the top of us doing our
of
outro
course.
like I normally do. I'm going to let this play full.
Who picked it?
So we're going to do... We picked it, didn't we?
Kieran, really.
Okay.
What, again? I picked last week's.
Yeah, but you're like that.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna let this play in full. I don't want this song to be interrupted in any way, shape, or form.
Okay, cool. But as for now, Lissy, where can I catch you?
Lissy does on Instagram.
Kieran.
The _Bruce01, and I promise, guys, Brucey's.bigcartel will launch probably tomorrow.
That is the coolest announcement ever.
Probably.
I felt like you didn't answer. I feel like you were about to say tonight, and then went, I don't know if I want to do that tonight.
No, I'm not doing it tonight.
I'm not doing that. No.
Tomorrow.
Why don't you unveil it when the Elimination Chamber starts, so people can use because their
All I've got
Wi-Fi
to
will be
press
very low.
is take off maintenance.
You guys really, and telling your family, maybe you can make it 30 accounts each. Do it. We'll take it. We'll take it. Yeah. But also
All his stuff. He's going live now.
Oh, he's doing it now.
Look.
What are you
On
doing
here.
it?
On my Big Cartel app.
Yeah? I can actually see his products. They're good.
Yeah.
Good products.
Good products.
I
But if you
just-
don't want to go to that website, you can go to thebrotherzor.bigcartel.com. You can also check us out on YouTube. Just search The Brothers Zor in the search bar because we haven't got enough subscribers yet, so we can have our own URL. So that's down to you guys, really, and telling your family. Maybe you can make it 30 accounts each.
Do it.
We'll take it. We'll take it, yeah?
Why not?
But also you can follow us at ByTBL on Instagram and Twitter, and on Facebook we are The Brothers Zor, Facebook.com/The Brothers Zor, so it's easy to find that way. But there's lots of videos. Kieran's in them all. Bruno's starting to be in a lot more vlogs, and there's a brand new vlog coming to the YouTube tomorrow, and I'll be following our night of losing and Kieran winning at UPW last night.
Where we officially unveiled WAB.
It was wabulous.
Huh?
It was absolutely
We did.
wabulous.
That's a t-shirt.
Yeah.
The merch is coming.
We kicked so many people in the mailbox last night. I lost count.
Yeah, there was a lot of that.
Very cool.
Very spooky.
So, guys, that has been the show. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're pumped for Elimination Chamber. And I hope the intrigue levels are high at a fever pitch. But we will see you in 2 weeks. Matthew will be back next week, hopefully with the answer to that poll. So make sure you go to TotalWrestlingShow.com and go to make your voices be heard in the poll, which was who will put on the best show the night before WrestleMania, NXT or Ring of Honor. But for now, go to iTunes, look for some podcasts. We've got loads of conversations with Crusher and stuff. We've got Down on the Road. We've got these old podcasts.
There's an excellent one with Cody Rhodes that you can go check out.
Excellent one with Cody Rhodes. And Dan reminded me of an excellent one he did with Johnny Storm even. So, but make sure you check all that stuff out. We've been family. Have we only got one more thing to say?
Yeah.
What is it?
Bye.
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 Bye.